Hey everybody, so for today's skill, we're going to do 100 shoulder angels. Now these can be done with no weight at all, so you can do them with just your arms, or you can do them with weight, but you want to pick something light. You're going to have that weight in each hand, so you want it to be about the same weight in each hand. It can be something like just a can of beans or a bottle of water, just something weighted, and you do want it to be pretty light. These are going to be difficult. That weight is going to start to feel really heavy really quickly, and we're doing 100 of these, which is really 200 if you look at the way they go. So the way the shoulder angel goes is we start with our hands at our sides, then we bring the hands up and out to the sides, then bring them in so they're in front of you, then bring them down to your legs, and then you retrace your steps. Then you bring them back up where they came from, out to the side, and then back down to the sides of your legs. And that's one rep. So it's out, in, down, up, out, down, and that makes one rep. You want to try not to round these movements here. You want to keep them kind of squared off every time. So it's up, you pause for a moment, out to the side, pause, etc. You don't want to just round it and make it a big circle. That's not what we're looking for. And these will get difficult. You want to keep your arms straight. However, a slight bend in the elbow is fine, especially as you start getting really tired here. But the more straight your arm is, the more you're putting this in your shoulders and not your biceps or triceps. Okay, so then we're going to do 100 of those. We're going to do that for time. You're going to log that on beyond the whiteboard, see how long that takes you. The next thing we're going to do is get into our workout. So in the blue and the black, they're very similar. Rep counts are different and a little bit of movement change there. But basically, looking at the blue, we're going to start with 25 burpees. If we're in the black, it's going to be 50 burpees. And the burpee, we start standing up. You drop to the floor, bring your chest all the way to the floor. Your chest must touch the floor. And then you're going to jump to your feet, go wide with your feet. Try not to jump up to your toes, so go nice and wide, get a good stable stance. And then you're going to jump to get your knees and hips extended and clap with your hands over your head. You do need to clap with your hands over your head. That's an important part of the movement. The clap shows you got your hands over your head. The hands over your head show you got your hips extended, which doesn't have to happen, but it's a good way to kind of force that to happen. And that's our burpee. Okay, so we're going to do 25 of those or 50 of those. We're going to do this in the order written. So once you're finished with your burpees, we move on to the air squats or jumping air squats. Air squats, we're going to push our hips back, push our butt back and down. So your hip crease ends up below the top of your kneecap, and then you're going to stand it all the way back up so we have full hip and knee extension at the top. If you're in the black and you're doing the jumping air squats, we're going to do 100 of those instead of 50. Okay, and obviously we can mix and match here. Maybe you're going to do the 100, but you're going to do air squats and not jumping air squat. That's up to you. But we're going to jump. So it's essentially the same thing as an air squat, except we leave the floor. So once you get your hips and knees extended, you get your feet up off the floor, which is a jump. And you don't have to jump really high. You can see I'm jumping pretty high here in this video, but you just need to get your feet off the floor, and that's a full rep. The next movement we're going to do is the arch rock. So in the blue and the black, we're going to go with the same rep count here. We're laying on our stomach. You're going to arch up so that your shoulders are up and your feet come up off the floor, and then you're going to rock. The best way to get motivated here is to bring your feet toward your head and then let the momentum carry you into a rock. We're going to do that 50 times. You can break that up however you need to. And then the next movement is the lateral step or jump over an object. We're going to do 100 of them. Every time you jump or step over the object, that's one rep. I don't have a video here, but we're just talk about it. It's pretty simple. You're just going to use an object, something you have to actually get up and over. So it could be a stack of books or a water bottle or a kettlebell or whatever you have. But if we're doing the jump, it's a 2-foot takeoff. So you jump over the object, you land on the other side with 2 feet leaving the floor at the same time, and that's your jump. And if we're stepping, it's the same thing, but obviously not a jump and a step. You can, if you're doing a 1-foot takeoff, that would count as a step. Okay, we're going to do 100 of those, 50 on each side, and then we finish with the hollow rock, starting laying on the floor. You're going to crunch up into that banana shape. So you're pulling your rib cage down toward your pelvis and pelvis up toward your rib cage. Legs are long, toes are pointed, arms are long, fingers are pointed, and we just rock back and forth. If you can't quite do this, we can modify it by bringing the knees up, put your hands on the knees. You're still getting that crunch in the abs, and we're rocking back and forth like that. And we're going to do that 50 times, whether you're in the blue or the black. And we're doing this in the order written for time. Log your scores on beyond the whiteboard. And we will see you tomorrow.